Hey, what up, fam? It's your boy LP, and I just want to have a quick rap with y'all today about the dangers of self-identifying as introverted. Now, some people are going to get a little defensive about this one because we love our crutches, but just hear me out is all I'm saying. Hear me out, okay? Now, everybody knows what introverts and extroverts are. I'm not going to bother defining them, but I do want to point something out right off the top, which is that it's not real. Being an introvert is as real as being non-binary. These are self-elective labels that people adopt for different reasons. And the reason I'm going to be picking on the introverts is because that's the one that is actually dangerous for your mental health, not conducive to living the happiest, most fulfilling life you could possibly be living, and ultimately just kind of antisocial. There's this podcaster named Catan, and she does the Red Scare podcast, and her pinned tweet that she's had for like years on her Twitter profile says, "Don't flatter yourself, you're not a sociopath, just a garden variety millennial narcissist." And that's kind of the same way I feel about it. It's like, don't flatter yourself, you're not an introvert, you're just antisocial. Now, if you ever spent any time exploring this concept and talking to people who identify as introverts, there's a recurring theme that comes up over and over again where they say, well, you see, extroverts go out into social situations and they enjoy interacting with people and they feel energized by doing that, but introverts feel drained. Like it costs, you gain energy from your social interactions and I lose energy from my social interactions. It's like, nigga, I'm sorry, but the laws of physics do not apply differently to you than they do to somebody else. This is a completely mental handicap that you've internalized. And you see evidence of this on the internet. For example, here's a question on Quora that says, how do I deal with the mental fatigue caused after a social event as an introvert? And I talked about this a little bit on a live stream on the Daily Cope the other day, and somebody left this comment. It's very telling. I want you to listen to this, okay? He says, "For me, it's more than emotional. I feel physically drained as well. I feel a deep sense of not belonging and a visceral loathing of the platitudes and disingenuous bullshit people share with their 'I don't want to be judged, please accept me' masks pulled down over their faces. If we're all going to pretend to be someone we're not, what's the fucking point in socializing?" So again, putting aside the fact that the laws of physics do not work differently for you than other people, and so it doesn't cost you more energy to talk to somebody, this comment comes across as thinking you are smarter and more honest than everybody else and looking down on them with contempt. Now, does that sound like a healthy mindset? Human beings are social animals. We are evolutionarily evolved to want to socialize with each other. You're supposed to have friends. You're supposed to have loved ones. You're supposed to even enjoy to some degree interacting with new people. And whether you do or don't do those things is essentially a choice. That's really what I want to drive home. That's if you have one takeaway from this video, understand that it's a choice, okay? You could choose to hate the world and you can choose to not care if everyone hates you. Just acknowledge that it's a choice. Don't try to tell me this is some kind of like you have the introvert gene. You're genetically incapable of doing small talk and not hating it. Don't try to feed me that bullshit, okay? If you want to choose to be unhappy, you can make the choice, but you're making a choice. And by the way, they've done studies that found that people who identify as extroverted are happier than people who identify as introvert, to the surprise of no one. And there's a lot of overlap with this idea of not having a choice with the whole born this way concept from the LGBTQ crowd, which says that you don't choose your sexual orientation all the way up to pedophilia. And maybe you believe that, but I don't. And here's the thing you gotta understand, okay? When I say it's a choice, I don't mean it's like flipping a light switch, okay? I'm not saying it's easy to change. You can change, but changing takes effort. So what you are is a product. You're the accumulated product of every little choice you make. And so if you start to make choices that are better, you'll become a better person. I know this is really trite at this point, but that's what you got to do. So if you're looking to fix this, or if you're looking to improve this situation and improve your mental health, my suggestion is to treat it like a game. You like to play video games, right? You introverts, you like to sit at home and level up your fucking Elden Ring character all day or whatever. Well, listen, when you have to go out into the real world, you have to go to the gas station or the grocery store or whatever it may be and interact with another human, even if it's just like paying the McDonald's cashier on your drive-through. Think of getting the McDonald's as your main quest, but you also have an optional side quest for bonus XP, which is like make the person smile. That person who you have to interact with, see if you can make them smile. It's not as hard as it sounds. The hard part is breaking out of your shell. The hard part is not being embarrassed at the idea of trying to be jovial and making somebody smile. That's the hard part. But if you work on it, if you chip away at it, it just becomes easier and easier. And this will translate to in all your relationships, by the way. If you want to have a wife or a husband someday, you need to be able to talk to them, and you need to learn not only how to enjoy that, but how to make it enjoyable for them as well. That's a skill. That's a life skill. Anyway, I could ramble on about this, but I'm just going to keep it there, keep it short and concise. You get the idea. That's just my 2 cents. So, if you're all offended and angry, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help, nigga. Hey, I'm just trying to help, okay? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.